Hello everyone, Gamertag here, and today we are going to be figuring out if you can beat Pokémon Crystal with just a single Furret. Now, Furret is honestly not a bad Pokemon, so I do expect this to be a lot easier than, using something like a regular starter or anything like that. But what's also going to make this one a little bit different is we're just going to be starting directly with a Furret. So Sentret normally evolves into Furret, but it evolves at level 15. So that's really only the difference of just the first gym. And I don't really feel like that warrants a difference here in terms of having a Sentret versus a Furret. So we name it Floof Snake. Honestly, this was just suggested when I asked some of my buddies, and this one just made me laugh. So we went with it. We got a pretty decent Furret. I think we could have gotten a little bit better attack or speed. It was one of the two. But we got good HP on it, and the rest of the stats were pretty solid. Our move pool by level up, there isn't really anything exciting, but I'm most excited about having Return, Shadow Ball, and I guess Dig? Our stats are solid, and Fire Punch is probably going to come in handy for like Koga's Fortress or maybe even Jasmine's Steelix. But I expect moves like Return and Shadow Ball to be obvious yeses. And maybe we keep Dig the whole way? I'm not sure. I mean, we'll have Dig by the time we get to the Ghost Gym. But I don't know if it's something I see us keeping the entire way. Considering that a lot of two-turn attacks aren't really going to be that useful in some situations. And generally, we can get something better than that anyway. But for now, we're just going to go to the early game and just fight some wild Pokemon and some trainers. It's kind of weird seeing a level 7 Furret, but it is what it is. We're going to move on to the Flying Gym. Falkner's Pidgey misses a tackle, which I don't think would have done much. But thankfully, all he does is use Gust, which even with a crit doesn't do that much damage, so it's a very easy win. Obviously, if we had had a Sentret, this would have probably been a bit more difficult, but nonetheless, a very easy first try victory, and now we can move on to Slowpoke Well, take out the rockets, and then move on to Bygsy. Now, what is nice is along the way we got the TM for Swift, which is going to be very important because it's easily the strongest move that we have. It's far stronger than anything that we would learn at this point, and this should make this battle pretty easy. So he leads a Metapod. What is Bugsy? I think it's a he. I mean, he has male Pokemon, so we'll just go with it. But Kakuna also goes down with 2 Swifts. Scyther's gonna come out, and Fury Cutter. Wow, he outspeeds us. That's actually crazy. But it's a simple 3-shot with Swift. I was really hoping for a 2-shot, but we just didn't quite do enough damage. But that's an easy first try victory, and I'm really surprised Scyther outsped us. This could be interesting later down the road. Before we can get to Goldenrod, though, we have to fight our rival before Ilex Forest. Now, the good news is, while he does put us to sleep, he has no moves to hit us with at all. All he has is Lick as an attacking move, which won't affect us since we're normal type. So we can simply one-shot Zubat. It's going to be 3 hits, actually 4 for Bayleaf now that because he used Reflect, but he doesn't really scare us at all with his moves, and he didn't poison us, so really easy first try victory. Honestly, if he poisoned us and he crit a Razor Leaf, then it might have been interesting. Whitney, though, we're only at level 23, which is actually insanely low, considering usually we need to be like mid-20s, maybe closer to 30 depending on what we are. However, we control Miltank with a couple Mud Slaps, causing her to miss her rollout. Thankfully, she goes for Stomp because she didn't anticipate being low enough for Milk Drink, and it's an easy first try. Usually, Whitney ends up locking herself into Milk Drink, or into Rollout at some point, and that ends up beneficial for us, so really, I didn't expect too much difficulty. Thanks to having Dig, though, the rival becomes very easy in Burn Tower. Both Haunter and Magnemite are one-shots with Dig, one being quad weak and the other just being frail. Zubat is a one-shot with Swift, And Bayleaf is probably going to be a 2-shot here, which it is. He does miss Poison Powder. Wow, we probably could have low-rolled that Swift there, but it's a first try victory nonetheless, and now we can move on to the Ghost Gym. Honestly, I'm just excited to finally get Shadow Ball after this. So we do one-shot everything on his team except for the Gengar. Gengar just has a little bit more bulk than Ghastly and Haunter. Thankfully though, he misses Hypnosis, we can finish him off with a Dig, and then just simply one-shot his last Haunter. Man, Furret is just carrying this easily. But now we get Shadow Ball, and that is going to come in handy for every Psychic and Ghost type. Now, with that out of the way, we can do the Lighthouse and go fight Chuck. Now, interestingly enough, we did actually lose the first attempt, because he hit Hypnosis and then just spammed Dynamic Punch, which somehow hit twice in a row. So we ended up losing the first time around, but this time we just luck out, crit return, and get an easy first try victory. And now is where Fire Punch is finally going to come into hand. Now, Fire Punch probably could have one-shot the Magnemite, but I just figured Dig is going to make short work of them anyway. We simply have Fire Punch for Steelix. Steelix has base 200 defense, and Dig would not be doing much at all. And we can't chance that, so we'll just take it out with a couple Fire Punches and move on to Pryce. So Pryce, unsurprisingly, was very easy. I was hoping that we would have just one-shot everything on his team, but of all things to survive, it's Piloswine. However, I forgot that its base defense is really high, so I guess it makes sense that it lived. And we end up going for Shadow Ball expecting it to be a 2-shot. It still is, but we just get a random crit that we didn't need, and end up winning against Pryce, and that allows us to move on to the next rival fight in the Underground. Golbat is his lead, and that's just simply going to get one-shot by return. Fire Punch one-shots Magnemite, since its special defense is pretty bad. Now that we have Shadow Ball, we can only take one turn, and one-shot his Haunter. Sneasel is a one-shot with return. It's incredibly frail in defense. Meganium, well, was gonna be a 2-shot, but we just crit Fire Punch anyway. Actually crazy that we just disrespected him like that. We didn't even take any damage that time around, but even if we did, I think we would have been fine. So now we can finish off the Radio Tower and move on to the last gym badge, which is Claire. And Claire's going to be interesting because I don't know what her Kingdra's going to do when we get to it. I really hope she doesn't smokescreen. But she is going to lead a Dragonair, which we just one-shot with return. It's actually crazy how we're way over-leveled at this point, and that wasn't even the plan of getting over-leveled here. It's just kind of where we are at this point, but it'll probably balance out once we get to the Elite Four. But Kingdra, we end up just critting a return to one-shot, so we didn't even have to worry about anything. Well, except the fact that she won't give us the badge. So you have to do this quiz, and you simply just answer that you love Pokemon, you'll fight anybody, and you'll train anything. Now, I did misclick there, and you'll notice that he won't let you answer it correctly. He's just plays it off like he didn't hear what you said. Now, if you were doing a normal playthrough, you could go back in and get a rare level 10 Dratini with extreme speed, but we're just going to move right on to the last required rival fight. There is one later in the game, but it's mandatory. So, Golbat and Sneasel are both one-shots with return. Magneton, we're just gonna use Dig. I wasn't quite sure if Fire Punch would one-shot here, so I just went with Dig. Haunter is gonna be a one-shot with Shadow Ball. Now, he does have a new Pokemon being Kadabra, but we just one-shot it. We could have used Return. Kadabra is incredibly frail in defense. We go for Shadow Ball on Meganium. He hits Razor Leaf. And then we just finish him off with return. So that is all of the required fights up until the Elite Four. Well, since we are at the halfway point, I will remind you to please comment for the algorithm. He will thank you, and most importantly, I will thank you. Now, I did forget to show the stats here, but we'll show them a little bit later. We pretty much should just be able to carry through with Shadow Ball. Except on Exeggutor, I do expect it to live. He hits Psychic, and then we finish him off with a Fire Punch. I kind of knew Fire Punch likely wasn't going to one-shot anyway. Slowbro does survive. Well, it would have survived if we had not crit him with a Shadow Ball. Last Xatu is also a one-shot with Shadow Ball. And now we can move on to Koga. Now, Koga I wasn't super worried about, but I was worried about one or two specific Pokemon. So both Ariados and Venomoth are one-shots with Return. Forretress, this is why we have Fire Punch, so we can just one-shot it with a quad-weak fire move. Anything else would have just been abysmal, and he also has Protect and Explosion as well. Muck, thankfully, just goes for Acid Armor. Now, he does not full restore because he will only full restore on his ace, which is Crobat, which we just missed the KO, and he double teams. We miss a Fire Punch, 2 Fire Punches as he hits a Wing Attack. We hit another Fire Punch, and then he Toxics. Thankfully, despite his third double team, we hit through, finish him off with Return, and manage to avoid the Toxic damage. Next up is Fighting Trainer Bruno, and I was worried we might lose this one. So we happen to one-shot Hitmontop and Hitmonlee. Hitmonchan is also going to be a one-shot, but he does get off a Mach Punch for some decent damage, but we take him out. Machamp is going to come out, and we hit Return. He survives, hits a huge Cross Chop, which does have a high crit chance, so had he crit, he definitely would have finished us off, but we lucked out, and we managed to survive on just 38 health. Onix is a one-shot with Iron Tail, since we no longer need Fire Punch, and we can move on to Karen. Now, had we missed there, I'm curious what his play would have been. Umbreon, we don't quite KO because it's really tanky, and she goes for Sand Attack. Umbreon tends to troll quite often. We get through the accuracy drop, though, and one-shot Vileplume with Return. Gengar is a one-shot with Shadow Ball. The Murkrow that comes in next is also a one-shot. Wow, we haven't missed yet. This is very unlike our normal RNG. This is wild. And we hit again on Houndoom, one-shotting that as well. Sand Attack pays 0 dividends to us. We have an easy victory, and now it's time for Pokemon Champion Lance. So he's going to lead Gyarados. We are definitely not going to one-shot, but he just goes for Rain Dance, so easy knockout. Dragonite is going to come out, and thankfully he's going to miss Thunder Wave. Now he is going to go for this more times, so fingers crossed. Next Dragonite, we hit Return, and he also misses Thunder Wave. Wait, are we going to first try Lance? Aerodactyl, we do miss Iron Tail, he just goes for Wing Attack, and we take him out on the next turn. Also kind of why we have Iron Tail, but I think we could have been okay. Charizard is going to survive because of just, he's really high leveled. Then he crits a Flamethrower, and we take him out with Return. Last Dragonite, please go for Thunder Wave, please go for Thunder Wave, please go for... No. Alright, never mind, no first try. It took us several tries to get back to this point, because we just kept getting hit with Thunder Wave, and that means an auto loss. But same as before, Gyarados gets taken out, only uses Rain Dance. Dragonite, first Dragonite, he has 3 of these. Misses Thunder Wave, so we take him out. Next Dragonite, again, he misses Thunder Wave, so we can take him out. Okay, halfway. Aerodactyl comes out. Okay, can we hit the Iron Tail this time? We do. Cool. Okay, I don't think he would have done much to us anyway, but it's nice to actually hit it. It's really inaccurate. We hit Return on Charizard. No crit this time, and no burn, meaning we should be able to take out Dragonite. We go for Return. He hits Hyper Beam, and he does not crit, so we get the win. I honestly really thought he was going to crit us there, because I'm sitting here like, okay, we're going to win this time. And I'm just expecting absolute disaster, but we are not done yet, because in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you get to go to Kanto. Now, there really isn't a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on in Kanto, because there's all of the gym leaders. But the problem with Kanto is that most of the gym leaders aren't even in the 40s. They're like mid-30s, which is incredibly weak. And most of the gym leaders are barely... They're not even better than the Elite Four. They are around Elite Four level. Blaine is the 7th gym leader in Kanto, and even his best is only level 50, which is on par with Lance. However, there is one gym leader we are going to talk about, and that gym leader is Blue. Blue has actually a very good team, very well-rounded team, and his levels are pretty good. So let's see how this goes. So he's going to lead a Pidgeot. We go for return. He goes for mirror move with... Wow. Okay, apparently their happiness is garbage in this game because his return did nothing. Alakazam is the only Pokemon we'll one-shot here, likely, as its defense is bad. I mean, Pidgeot lives, so the other stuff should live. Rhydon goes for Sandstorm here. Now, I did actually lose my first attempt because he went for Earthquake both times, and we ended up missing an Iron Tail as well. So, we had another one of his Pokemon finish us off. Gyarados is going to get hit with the sand. We're just going to go for return. Now, we do have leftovers here, which is helping a little bit. Thankfully, Gyarados does us a favor and gets rid of that sand and just uses Rain Dance. It's actually crazy that he just didn't attack. It would have been probably smarter for him to go for Hyper Beam, but that's fine. Exeggutor is going to come out. We hit Shadow Ball. Obviously, we won't one-shot, and he hits Leech Seed. Now, the good news with Generation 2 is that Leech Seed will only work after we attack. So we went underground, Leech Seed, we hit Dig. We're not going to one-shot this thing anyway, so I just went with Dig to just do some chip damage. But thanks to that damage from Dig, Return finishes him off, giving us a victory. But we are not done yet, because after Blue, we get to fight Red. So I didn't show the stats before, so I thought I'd show them before our first attempt at Red. We actually have really nice HP. Furret's HP is phenomenal. This is the moveset we're going to go with. I know Iron Tail isn't necessarily needed, but his Snorlax is incredibly thick, and maybe we can get a defense drop with Iron Tail, and that will help us out. So Pikachu is his lead at level 81. Now, I could have went for anything here. I just went for Dig because I was curious what move he would use. Obviously, if anything happened and he hit Charm, we would have just reset. Espeon surprisingly survives the Shadow Ball. This could be kind of bad here. Snorlax comes out, we miss Iron Tail. We hit it again as he just used Amnesia. We do get the defense drop. Thankfully, no paralysis from Body Slam, which is huge. But then we crit return. I'm not sure if that mattered or not because of his defense drop, but I'm really worried here with how little damage we're doing. Thankfully, Venusaur just takes in Sunlight so we can get more leftovers recovery. Charizard is going to be a 2-shot, barely. Flamethrower does big damage, and we're really hurting on health here. Blastoise is probably going to finish us off, though. Return does... Yeah, that's not going to be a win. Okay, we'll just get some more levels and come back. So we decided to get a few more levels. We're up to 75 now. And Pikachu is naturally still a one-shot. Espeon, I think we'll one-shot now. Let's see. Okay, we crit. Well, I don't know. Maybe if we high rolled, we would have. I'm not sure. But Snorlax just goes for Amnesia. We just go for Return. He goes for a Body Slam. Thankfully, no paralysis. We get leftovers recovery, and we take him out. Venusaur is out next, and I'm really hoping he goes for Solar Beam. Oh, Sunny Day. Okay, this could be problematic. We'll have to see what happens. But we take out Venusaur. Charizard hits Flamethrower and does massive damage, taking us all the way to 73 health, 89 after the leftovers. Okay, Blastoise, just need you to help us out here. Oh, okay, we're gonna crit. This is good. He missed Blizzard! He missed Blizzard! We win! Okay, I will take that. I honestly thought he was... Oh, wait, no, that's good because... It's because he would have surfed if the sun wasn't... Oh, okay, that's actually really good then. Okay, well, we ended up winning. A little bit of luck, but I will take it. So the next challenge we have is actually going to be for Valentine's Day, so I'm already most of the way done with it. But if you have ideas as what it might be, leave them down below. Also, leave suggestions down below in the comment section. And again, thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great day.